Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Crypto at the Ferrum Roundtable. I'm Tom from the marketing team, and we're here to discuss the end of 2022 and how it was for Ferrum Network. So please welcome Nick, our Chief Growth Officer. Hey Nick.
Hey.
Hey, we've got Ian, our co-founder. Hey Ian, how's it going?
Hey everybody. Hello.
Perfect. We've got Taha, Chief Development Officer. How you doing?
Hey guys, good. How are you?
Yeah, perfect. Well, 2022 was quite eventful, not just for Ferrum, but for the whole crypto space. And obviously, here we want to focus mainly on the achievements and accomplishments that we've managed to have done in 2022. So, first of all, to you guys and to our community, Happy New Year's. And I hope that 2023, well, I'm pretty sure it is going to belong to Ferrum Network. So let's just start off. And Nick, could you just give us a little overview of our mission, of the vision that we have, that we've started off and outlined in 2022, that we're actually going to be charging forward in 2023?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. I think 2022 was a really good year for us in terms of kind of setting the stage and the foundation for Ferrum 2.0 vision, right? Which is this vision of a bridgeless future. The pursuit of something that we're calling interoperability 2.0. When you think about the achievements in 2022, a lot of that was really laying the groundwork for us to really push forward in 2023 and get a lot closer to these goals of something that we're calling interoperability 2.0, which to us is true interoperability, right? Like the ability to not just move assets across networks seamlessly, which is what we're enabling through MultiSwap, but the ability to move information, data, and messaging across networks to enable multi-chain smart contracts, collections of multi-chain smart contracts that can ultimately make up multi-chain dApps, which is to us probably the single most important thing that is missing in the crypto space right now. So when we talk about Firm's vision, that's what we're after. Our mission is to achieve this bridgeless future through our mainnet, which is there's going to be a lot more updates this year regarding Quantum Portal, our multi-chain messaging engine that's powering this interoperable layer one that is going to be built on Polkadot and using Substrate. So lots of exciting updates coming from that angle. But yeah, that's our vision is entirely interoperability focused right now, and I think 2022 was kind of the jump off spot for us to hopefully realize that vision entirely this year. Obviously, it's always going to be a work in progress. 2024 will still be probably focused on interoperability, and 2025 too. But yeah, I think 2022 was really the beginning of this kind of new vision for Ferrum that it's going to be an exciting year this year for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And guys, just to let you know, I'm pretty sure that you've already read the Ferrum 2.0 article that Nick has put together earlier in 2022. But if you're new to Ferrum Network, all of the most important and most memorable articles and content that we've put out in the last 12 months is going to be available for you in the description. Now, Taha, what do you think from the development side? What do you think what's been the most, the major accomplishments and milestones that we've managed to achieve in 2022?
Yeah, Tom, that's a great question. Well, for starters, in 2021, when I came on board, at that time, the development team was about two people, right? There was two core developers, and then we've been able to grow that multiple X to over a dozen engineers, product managers, project managers, QA, and it's just gone to a full-fledged team. And what that's allowed us to do is get closer to the vision that Nick described. We've been after this vision to realize interoperability in the space, to make different networks and their benefits more accessible to the everyday user. And it's easier said than done. So part of that is building the mainnet, part of that is facilitating products like MultiSwap and the bridging interfaces that we have. Part of that is open sourcing a lot of the solutions we've built out in the past, like staking. And a lot of those, we had to always pick and choose, hey, what do you work on? Because when you only have so many team members, you have to prioritize. So one thing that's been really nice is we've grown our team, and as the team has gone more knowledgeable, as we've been able to work on these things in parallel. We've open sourced multiple initiatives. Staking is open source now. Most of our bridging infrastructure is open source. We've been able to launch the MultiSwap closed alpha towards the end of the year. We have the POC Mainnet as well in internal testing at the current point. We've been able to add the network to MetaMask and do transactions across. So those have been really, really significant milestones that I feel have laid the groundwork for a really groundbreaking 2023. And I'm really excited for what's to come in the future because of this.
Wonderful, thank you. And there's a lot that happened in 2022, right? Like, obviously, there was some really, really cool and good things in the crypto space, but obviously there was also some terrible news that we've all woke up to, at some point in 2022. But how has Ferrum adapted to the challenges and changes in the crypto space in 2022? There's a question for Ian, actually, because I know, like, a lot of times you say that, which I feel like is actually correct, that, a week or 2 weeks in crypto space feels sometimes like it's been a year, so many things change. What do you think about that?
Well, look, no doubt that 2022 was an extraordinarily challenging year for the entire industry. And Ferrum wasn't exempt from that either. But I think what allowed us to survive and even thrive, as you heard from Taha, the team has managed to expand dramatically. We launched a number of products and built many more that are going to be launched in the near future, all throughout 2022. And so how do we do that in the face of extraordinarily difficult financial circumstances? Well, I think we harkened back to the principles that got us through the first bear market we were part of, which is the 2019 bear market when Ferrum first launched, right? So frugality is very important to us, not spending unnecessarily, right? Just being conservative overall with not only our capital, but our time and what are we allocating our time to and our resources on. So it's a mindset, kind of a bear market mindset that you need to adopt. And we were able to sort of pivot quite quickly. I remember it was some point in spring of 2022 when we realized, wait, the market is not recovering. It's getting worse and worse. And we need to dramatically restructure the company. And so we unfortunately had to let go of some people. We had to reduce everyone's salaries by a pretty significant margin. And because we did these things and other sort of strategic initiatives with that conservative mindset, we were able to not just survive, but thrive, in my opinion, during this downturn. So really proud of the team for that. And I think we're going to reap the benefits of all that we're building and everything that we sacrificed on in 2023 and beyond.
Yeah,
I really want to highlight one part of that is it's not just the ability to restructure, but Ian mentioned this, when Ian and Naeem started the company back in 2018, these decisions, this was not the first time decisions like these had to be made, but it's what you do with those decisions after they've been made is just as important as making the decision and executing it. What I mean by that is not just restructuring expenses to cut costs, but then when you've cut that cost, strategically investing the freed up capital so that you can thrive in the market and you're not just in survival mode. Because anytime a business is just in survival mode, it's just a slow trajectory to go to zero because your innovation stops, your creativity stops, the whole development process stops. So what we've been able to do in this time period where a lot of people sort of go MIA in the industry, unfortunately, is we've been able to invest in the right areas so that we can further accelerate our development. Nick's been hard at work in this area, getting partnerships, and then of course bringing work to the development and marketing side to go and execute them and then publicize them as well. So it's been an incredible team effort, and I want to give kudos to the leadership and every single team member behind the scenes for making that happen.
Yeah, one thing I'll add to that too, Taha, is the ability to stay relevant, right? Like it's one thing to free up capital and put that capital to good use, which is 50% of it, I would say. But then another strength of Ferrum has, and since the inception of Ferrum, has been the ability to stay relevant, the ability to adapt to the market changes, to what the market wants, to what users want, and to what products people want, and to build those products in a timely fashion. And so I think that's also another factor in how Ferrum's been able to, a lot of projects that launched in 2000, most projects that launched in 2019 don't exist anymore, but Ferrum is more relevant than we've ever been. And I think a lot of that's just because of the ability to adapt to this really, really fast paced evolving space that is Web3. So kudos to the team for always thinking forward. And to our community for giving great feedback on what it is they want, because I think that's another thing that sets us apart, is the ability to take in feedback and use it, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't agree with that more. Definitely.
Definitely. And you know what, like we don't actually discuss that often really on our video, like community updates in our podcast, but I feel like that kind of ability to adapt that Nick also mentioned, it's everyone knows in the community that our team's incredibly dedicated and passionate, and that development team's incredibly hardworking as well. But it's not just that. Like it's probably really, like, it's easier to launch a project in Web3, but it's much more difficult to maintain it, like maintain the sustainability, for like 3, 4, 5 years and more, when we're going to go into the future. And I feel like the leadership team at Ferrum, apart from being dedicated, passionate, and obviously have quality skills, also has incredible business sense and, legal background like Ian as well. I think this all combines into us like treating Ferrum more like a really long-term business, rather than just like a project, another project in Web3. And yeah, I'm really proud of that. I feel like there should be more people like you guys in the crypto space, and it'll be much better. And 2023 is going to look much better than 2022. And Taha, because also Nick mentioned the ability to adapt, let's just jump onto adoption real quick. Can we update our community on the adoption and usage of Ferrum's products and services? How did we expand? And if you could just highlight some of the most memorable integrations.
Yeah, I think it kind of ties into listening to the community, adapting to what the market is looking for, what our users are looking for, what the users that we're looking to bring into our community might be looking for, understanding that, and then building solutions that solve problems, are not just vanity solutions. Those are nice, of course, and are fun, but lasting solutions always tend to solve a critical problem. And luckily, we've been able to do that, not just with products like our multi-chain bridge, but now with MultiSwap, where with one click, you can swap any asset on any network to any asset on any other network. This solves a huge problem in not having to rely on centralized exchanges who play a decent role, but we've seen the problems they bring as well. So you're going to be able to move assets easily across any network. So that's been something that's been really, really helpful in adoption. And I think it's going to be even more helpful because we've just, we're really at the tip of the iceberg in terms of adoption for multi-chain asset transfer. As far as Ferrum is concerned, I think that's really going to take off. In addition to that, I think one thing that's really, really important is the networks that we integrate with. Ferrum's success kind of ties into the success of those networks. That's why when we integrate with partners like Algorand, when we integrate with partners like Kudos Network, and more as get added to the list almost every quarter, it seems, we don't just look at it as a transactional interaction. We help them go through their alpha, beta, and production launches. We help their community be guided through the onboarding process. We take their community's feedback, not just the Ferrum community's feedback, but their community's feedback to understand how to make the experience better on this new network, on this new ecosystem that are going on. And those kind of acts and that commitment is, I believe, what is helping us gain this adoption. And I think it's really going to have a tremendous impact in 2023 as we really set a footing into these ecosystems and help improve the experience, not just for the Ferrum community, but for all of our partners' communities as we integrate our services with them.
Yeah. And those kind of integrations and this kind of adoption for Ferrum's products wouldn't also have happened without our Chief Growth Officer, Nick, here, who's been key to maintaining and building those relationships and partnerships. So, Nick, the next question is for you. Can you just tell us a little bit more about those partnerships in 2022? What are you the most proud of? And if you can give us a little sneak peek into maybe also 2023, what can we expect in the future?
Yeah, so it's funny. I actually had to kind of like dig way back. You know, we talk about a week being a year in crypto. It's like a year. What does that make a year? Like a decade, like an eon. So I was looking back through like some of our Medium articles, like like what started from January until now, like what's really transpired, because I was having a hard time figuring out like what happened in 2021, 2022. So I was looking back, and you know, we had ZK Sync, which, you know, they're just now kind of starting to come to fruition. We got involved really early on in their fundraising rounds, and we'll be integrating, you know, their very promising layer 2 solution with all of our products in 2023 now. But we had Avalanche, which we integrated with our staking services and the bridge. We've got Fuse and Velis, which Fuse was like one of the first projects to see the vision of MultiSwap and provide a grant for the integration there. So that's going to be another thing that really comes to fruition in 2023 with that integration. But Velis, we've integrated our staking tech over there. Kudos was one of the more recent ones in 2022 that also, you know, took the kind of dove in with us on MultiSwap, and is going to be the first Cosmos based network that will integrate with MultiSwap, which will lay the foundation for a lot of other Cosmos related integrations in the future. So that's another big one. So, you know, personally, you know, the things that I find the most exciting because of what we were talking about with adoption is expanding to these other networks to not only, you know, bring Ferrum's community to these other networks and Ferrum's products and services to these other networks, but also to gain users from these different ecosystems, which I think is one of the really cool perks about being an interoperability focused project, is that you kind of stand to gain a lot of these other ecosystems users, right? Especially when you start talking about like non-EVM compatible networks. Like Solana ecosystem is like a whole different user base than, you know, people who are just using MetaMask, and same with, you know, Polkadot, right? Like a whole different set of users, and Cosmos, right? Algorand. So and I forgot to mention, you know, Algorand, of course, was a huge way to end this year. Was finishing up the bridge integration and the staking, which actually staking happened a while back, but the bridge integration was a really big one for us. Now you can swap or bridge USDC from Algorand to EVM compatible networks using the Ferrum Cross-chain token bridge, which is awesome. So you know, and then they'll be also kind of evolving into MultiSwap in time as well. So lots of exciting things to look forward to in 2023 that we're, like as I mentioned earlier, we're kind of a result of the foundation that we were able to lay in 2022. So yeah, you know, personally, I think the most exciting partnerships are always in relation to the different networks that we're integrating with it. We love partnering with DApps too, when we can leverage each other's technologies. But when you're talking about integrating your products with an entire network, that's really exciting, and one of the things that I think is a key factor behind Ferrum's growth in general.
Yeah, so good. And what you actually mentioned as well, probably the most recent integration and partnership with Algorand and the bridge being live, we ended 2022 on a high, really, because we've just before the end of 2022, we've announced not just the Algorand bridge being live, but also the release of the private alpha of MultiSwap. And Tahan, next question is actually slightly about that. How does Ferrum plan to evolve from the development standpoint in 2023?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's really an evolution of the vision that Nick initially described. about bringing interoperability into the space. Now we are in a place where we actually have tangible products and services that can allow users to feel some of that technology and feel the benefits of it, really. So MultiSwap, its private alpha is out. Of course, we're going to be moving that through to the point where our initial goal is going to be to release a production stable version, which can handle multiple millions per day, tens of millions and hundreds of millions, we hope, shortly after, as we scale it iteratively. Because one of the things that we focus on is security as a core component of design. So we don't necessarily rush to be the first, but when we do put a product out, it becomes a lasting solution, as is seen with our bridge that we launched a while back, and to this day has not seen an exploit because of its architecture, security, and design. Same with our staking solutions. So one is going to be bringing asset interoperability and really expanding that. And then second is going to introduce more networks in that area. All of that ties, of course, into our mainnet, which is going to also bring data interoperability and make even asset interoperability more standardized and make it easy for other developers to build on top of our solutions like Quantum Portal, and really build, let's say, a game on Polygon and be able to give rewards on Algorand or payment settlement using the Algorand financial infrastructure, because it's better suited for the fiat to stable, to fiat to crypto conversion as compared to, let's say, the Polygon ecosystem in this specific scenario. So a lot of that facilitation is going to be the key, and Ferrum is going to be a key part of that. Of course, these are our plans now. In crypto, things change in a month. So as we review this in Q2, let's say, of 2023, if something new comes up, we always prioritize and see, hey, is this opportunity something that will benefit the space? Is this something that's in line with our vision? If so, do we need to deprioritize something on the roadmap and bring this in? So we'll continue to evolve for that, but these are our major goals as we see them right now.
Thank you. And Ian, I've got the one final question of this community update video for you. We've already discussed a lot of partnerships and integrations that we've managed to accomplish in 2022. There's obviously a lot more that our community is going to expect also in 2023. How can people get involved with our community? What can they expect also in 2023 from your standpoint as well? Because there's more and more people joining our community on Discord, on Telegram. There's also, with the recent news on Algorand, on Kudos with the WeBot Dot initiative that we've also launched in 2022. People from Dot ecosystem, from Algo ecosystem, they have questions. They want to join, they want to get involved, because they can see that Ferrum is becoming the project, the one to connect them all, really. So what can you tell us about that?
Excuse me, I was muted. I'm so glad you asked that question, because, look, community, I think, is the backbone of everything that we do. Without the community, there really would be no reason to go on, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's fundamental, it's core to everything that we do each and every day. So I want to give the community, the existing community members, a huge shout out and thanks for, frankly, sticking with us through this really terrible bear market, where the value of the token cratered, and the pre-sale side of Ferrum, pretty much ground to a halt. A lot of the things that, many projects I think probably didn't survive, we were able to survive because of our community. So thank you so much for just being there. And it's amazing, really, to see that not only do we not lose that many core community members, it seems, but we continue to gain them. We're seeing tremendous growth on our socials, particularly on our CoinMarketCap page. We have, I think, over 10,000 followers there, which is a huge shout out to Tom, because we had 0 like 2 months ago, and Tom really just kicked that into high gear, and we were able to gain a lot of exposure over there. We've had people still join the governance committee, which is not a small financial commitment at all, right? It means the minimum to get in is 250,000 Ferrum and 20 Ferrum X tokens, which I don't know what the value is of that at this very moment in time, but the fact it's a bear market, people do not have a lot of excess capital lying around, and yet we continue to have people joining. I think we've had 2 or 3 joiners in the past month. And, again, it's a bear market, so that's quite impressive. So, and the other thing I wanted to mention too is our ambassador program, which was a brainchild of Tom and the marketing team to sort of, create a grassroots, more organic way of getting the word out about Ferrum. You can build the most incredible things, have the best team in the world, run a fantastic business. But if nobody knows about you, then it's for naught. So we really wanted to focus on marketing strategies that are going to bring us eyeballs in a cost-effective way and in a sustainable way. And so the ambassador program, by working with a number of influencers who have demonstrated genuine commitment to Ferrum, not just, pay them, X amount of dollars, do a tweet or make a video, and then we never hear from them again, but genuine long-term support from these influencers and other people who, frankly are also just community members as well, and being able to incentivize them and create more eyeballs on Ferrum through that. So the ambassador program has been fantastic. People can get involved with that. There's another way to actually earn through your support on social media, Ferrum, and that's through we do a weekly analysis of all the influencers or accounts on Twitter who have been talking about Ferrum throughout that week, and then we rank them. And at the end of the month, the top 3 people will get rewarded in Crucible Ferrum tokens. So we're always doing little things like this to communicate and involve with. We have a campaign coming up that's going to be really awesome. I think that's Nick's been spearheading. That's going to reward people for engaging with our products. It's kind of a Gleam campaign, but a Web3 Gleam campaign. I don't want to reveal too much because I don't know how much is private or not. But there's just so many ways to get involved. And look, you can always reach out to me, Nick, Tom, Taha, whatever kind of skills or experience you have and you want to bring to the table for Ferrum. I can't guarantee there's a place for you from terms of a paid position or anything like that. But we always appreciate the support, the help. And I think if you've been watching us, I think you'll agree that we take care of our community members. So whether you're new, old, from the beginning, or you just joined yesterday, we appreciate you. We want to have you involved, and don't hesitate to reach out and see how you can get involved with Ferrum.
Yeah. Wonderful, guys. Thank you so much for this. I just got to clarify that Nick's been the mastermind behind the ambassador program. There has been like incredible impact on what we're doing, and it keeps on evolving. And I'm pretty sure the next kind of the Ferrum's ambassador program 2.0 that we're going to be releasing and working on in 2023 is going to bring much more impact to our community, to our ecosystem as well. Guys, do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share?
I don't know, Tom. I think I like to say it's all a team effort, right? Because I can't even remember where that came from, right? All of a sudden, one day we just had an ambassador program. And to be honest, like you're the one running with that thing. So wherever it sprouted up from, huge shout out to you, man, for always taking the bull by the horns and making something from an idea into something really great. So I mean, man, during a bear market, to have a guy like Tom on the team, really keeping things engaged, keeping the community engaged on a consistent basis is a huge blessing. So thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Huge shout out to Tom. If you guys have been watching Ferrum for the past few years, and you can notice, I think, a dramatic just overall improvement across the marketing side since Tom joined, and he's only getting better each and every day. So thank you so much for everything you do, Tom. We got to give you a special shout out in addition to everybody else on the team.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And thank you for 2022. I'm pretty sure the community is really looking forward to what we've got planned and what we're going to be executing in 2023. 2023 will belong to Ferrum. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day and have a wonderful year. Thank you.
2020 Ferrum.
Yay!
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
You guys have a good night. Bye.